Alrighty, hey everybody, I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. How you doing, David? Now, today we're getting back onto the P-51B, filing, and mask. Oh, actually, wait, do we need to mask any of the 109 up? I'm not sure that we do. We will check these things. Yes, we will. On the whole, there's a whole stack of things if it transpires that we get the wings on the P-51B and can then therefore mask up. Actually, no, we'd glue first, wouldn't we? Wouldn't matter. Anyway, and the 109 is good. We can always jump onto something else. There's plenty of options for us to pursue. Oh, hey, Bassman, how you doing? Now, let me get into position. I haven't moved the car stuff away yet. Most remiss of me. Not really. It's going to take about 30 seconds. Yeah. Oh, really now? In we come. Now, foist things. Foist. Oh, yeah. That is the ticket. Round we come. Now, I'm going to turn that aircon off for a bit. I'm also going to hit mute for a moment. A bit. Oh, come on. I just got a thing of delete from my headset saying it's running low on charge, but it shouldn't be. I charged it the other day. Look, I'm going to keep going anyway. I don't think it means it's going to die immediately. I can at least get some shit done. Anyway, let's get this out of the way, shall we? Now, actually, I've got an urge to do those little electrodes here on the battery of the Mustang. Nah. Now, one thing I do need to do, we'll pop this. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but that'll go over to there temporarily. Here is our car box. You can sort of see what I'm doing. Now, no, there goes the lid. Nice one. That's a pain in the ass, that is. It's a pain in the ass. Never mind. I'll pick that up later. You know what? I reckon I've got the wheels, or at least the wheel. Well, there's a bag of stuff that goes in here. Dear me. And the decals. I've got all these on plinths. And the question you can feel free to ask is, and why is that, Rob? Is that even necessary? No, we're not doing anything with those. Let's get them off of there. Really? There we go. Got this Wurtak came off with wheel rim. And finally, I believe it's this. And the decals. It dawned on me the other day that as I'm actually painting these decals rather than using the decals, and that I'm basing it on the toy car I had, that I can actually consider, what was it? That's it. I don't necessarily have to be quite exact or matching the decals. I can be slightly different to that because my paintwork job is different to that. Pretty simple equation. Now, so as far out as we go, it is, in which case we're going to come back here a bit for a moment. Now, this is 109 stuff, and by the looks of it, yeah, we can now what I've done there, this is a mistake I frequently make. Or it's not a mistake, it's a thing. I tape the bottom line correctly to where it's meant to go, but the bigger issue with that is it doesn't factor in margin of error. So what I might do here, we're going to hold that on there. We'll remove these bits of tape here, and we're going to redo that. By the looks of it, yes, all ready to go. It's a question more of mounting all this stuff on relevant points. So that's where we're at with the 109. Okay. So we'll pop all this over to here. We'll do that as far as getting into redoing that, such things as that, getting all this properly mounted on stuff after we've done a bit of filing on the P-51B. Now, we've identified that. Hey, Brian, how you doing? I wouldn't have. Well, there's no scheduled specific time of arrival, mate. Just glad to have you here. Glad to have everyone here. Now, all right. Now, just noticed something that we can also attend to in due course. Excuse me a moment. Oh, yep. Now, and it's this. We can also, along the way, consider masking up our propeller for the P-51B. Now, back to this arduous task. Yay, team. Did I sound sarcastic? Now, let's have a look as to where we were having our fun and games. So, we were bit there. Actually, we're mostly okay there. I would suggest maybe into there wouldn't hurt to really facilitate that sliding in. Maybe a bit there. I've really got a tan on this, I can tell you that right now. But do what you got to do, hey? Do what you get. Let's be what. Oh, it doesn't matter. Who was that? What was it? Do what you want to do, be what you want to be. Something like that. Something like that. Now, for some reason, Billy Thorpe sounds right, but I'm probably wrong on that one. If you guys know the song I'm referring to. Or maybe he was the most people I know think that I'm crazy. Trying to remember now. Now. also up here, but now we are getting very close, people. Into there, I think, is where we need to start going, and because then that's probably the only real area where we're going to start getting some issues on the click point. Of course, that's got to come around into there. So into there, I guess, and into around that back area there is where we're going to be going. Go where you want to go. Don't know if that's the same one. Doesn't matter. That's an interesting one, all on its own, though. But yeah, my I have a rather odd assortment of musical. What's the word I'm looking for? Memories, I guess, because my siblings being much older than me, I'm the youngest. Of course, I heard a lot of what they played, and a lot of that stuff. Bearing in mind, I was born in '67. Was by the time from the late '70s and some of from the '60s, because it was still very cool then. Stuff 10 years old, some often is, and they were into the Zeppelin and a bit of Floyd, which did me the world of good musically, I tell you. But the bigger point now, give me a quick look here. Get up into there, I'm afraid. It's probably not going to be and then I developed my own tastes, which are mostly initially were blues. I got into a bit of Stevie Ray and such like. Hendrix goes without saying. But I eventually sold into a bit of classical and metal. And yeah. That's why I like Randy Rhoads as a guitarist. For those unfamiliar, he was Ozzy Osbourne's guitarist, or first guitarist when he went solo. And he was a gun. He's dead now. Died in a plane crash. So there we have it. Bit of a musical interlude before we continue our. Yeah. Not quite. Now, where is our hassle? Yeah, it's right in there. I can see it. I'll zoom you in. You can see that that area there is preventing that from going clunk. And pretty much likewise there. So we're going to need to come into there, I guess. Hey, Columba, hey? Now, if this does start turning into a file fest, and I get everything on the 109 done, and I'll get the propeller mast up, I might trot out the Viking for an interlude, depending on how long this is going to take us. Now, here's something I've noticed. I wonder. I wonder. Oh dear, Frankie Valli, eh? My former housemate used to love Frankie Valli. We had a rule in the house that there's a little spot right there. I noticed it on the other side too that's hanging just not quite right, and I'm wondering if doing this is going to help facilitate that. Let's have a quick look at that. Anyway, the rule in the house was that because we took turns cooking dinner, was that if you were cooking, you could sing. And his were Frankie Valli, and he actually used to sing along some of the country and western songs with, now we're getting places, boys and girls. Yeah, that has made a big difference. Now, a bit more into there, and then we're going to get, yeah, it is no longer the fuselage being the problem, or at least the width of the wing of the fuselage with relation to the wings, and in fact we'll even have to do a couple of little crystal clear touch-ups. What it is now is this area here. At least we've identified these matters. Now what was I going to make mention of? Give me a moment. It'll come to me in a minute. Yes, it will. Thinking. Yeah. If it's important, it will. Okay. I'm going to do a little more in here because it will be a bit further, or a bit more going on. But then we're going to have a bit of work on the 109, making sure everything's just basically such that we can go. It's all mounted nice and easy to rock and or roll with. And then just pop that aside. Then we're going to have to continue with this. Yeah. Now, has he died? When did that happen? I take it today. Now, he was, I believe it's a bit of a sad story with Brian Wilson there, isn't there? In terms of, whilst he wrote a lot of the stuff, he himself actually didn't go outside of the house much. Was he that one? I know one of them suffered pretty big depression. It's all a bit sad. But didn't stop him writing some very popular music. The Beach Boys, they've had their moments. Let's not be shy. Let's be fair. They weren't my go-to, but I wasn't averse to listening to them. And who can't honestly say that they weren't amused by the notion of her daddy taking the T-bird away? Actually, I remember a mate of mine trotting out, what was it? And she had fun till her daddy took the dildo away. I'm sure at least most of us have trotted that one, know someone who's trotted out a variant of that little number, but yeah, I think we were both about 18. Amused the hell out of me then. It still does. Now, I think we are getting into where we need to be. It's been quite the saga, hasn't it, guys? 82. It's not a bad innings these days, but it's actually it's amazing how old people are living to. My father turns 89 this year, and I got to say, you're not doing too badly for a man of that age. Which gives me some hope. Here we go. Starting to feel better. Not quite there. It's right into there we need to go. We will take a break. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's, I'll tell you when the world will be truly shocked about celebrity death. When, should it transpire that in fact Keith Richards is not a major form of undead, but in fact immortal, and dies. Can you imagine the shockwaves that'll send around the world? Oh my God! I saw this picture of Keith Richards with these two smoking hot chicks, and these are Keith Richards' daughters. When they die, he gets everything. And to a point, a similar thing could be said about Ozzy, but I believe he's not looking too well these days. So yeah, now. Now. There's only a little spot we need to do here. I actually leave them. Let's see. I wanted to redo this, didn't I? Yes, I did. Now, let's start with that one. Yeah. I'll get scissors onto it then. Hang on. Or can I do it this way? Come off there. I might have to redo the canopy as well, or reposition the canopy. We'll see. Oh, we'll see. Now what I want to do, the reason I'm doing this is because the line I gave, it was actually, and you're going to say, well, what's wrong with that? The correct line, but it doesn't. A problem I've had in over, or noticed I sometimes have. Let's give an example here. Here we go. I'll zoom in on this, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Hey, Moto, how are you doing? Oh, was he? Were you going to go see it, Moto? Now, here we go. You'll notice here's our undercarriage line. Might need to zoom in even further if you need to be able to. Okay, good. You can see the undercarriage line there of the paint. And what I generally do is I go on that line. The inherent problem I have discovered with this, or with doing this, is that if I then do that and then meticulously do that same line, it's not unknown for there to be suddenly appearing this micro line of aluminium because I haven't got them quite perfectly together. So what I'm going to do is actually go slightly higher and across, so that, therefore, I'd simply go over. And it's not a biggie because that's what they actually used to do. There we have it. Now, in the meantime, let's just make sure that all our blue tack on the canopy edge here is solid. Might get a little bit more out just to tidy that up. This is an area where I'm always more than willing to be overzealous than less so, if you know what I mean. Because, of course, if you start getting paint into your cockpit, it's going to look like shit. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There we go. A bit in there, perhaps. Diddly. Now, that goes to there. On the topic of things musical, I, for the first time since my surgery, managed to get my bass out yesterday. And I was very happy about that. A good session I did. And one thing I really enjoyed was that the playing it. Okay, two things coming. I need to make mention of here. A while ago, I invested in a Rickenbacker bass. Now, for those who are unaware, the Ricky is a kicking bass guitar, and often used by some very big names. The man who inspired me to get a Ricky was Lemmy from Motorhead. He used a Rickenbacker. Geddy Lee from Rush well, I don't assume he still plays, a Rickenbacker. Roger Waters. Yeah, a lot of very big names have used Rickenbacker. Paul McCartney's used Rickenbacker occasionally. Yeah, that'll be high enough. So, yeah. And the reason I got it, as much as anything else, is I am working on a musical project. And there comes a point to which you can ask yourself, well, do you create the sound first? Or do you lash the cash? Or do you wait until you've made some money and then... Bottom line is, no, you create the sound first. So I got the Rickenbacker out, and I purchased the Rickenbacker for that reason. And yeah, big balls. That's what they've got. Big balls as a bass guitar. They sound great. And the other thing is, because I've been taking lessons, I've gone from using a plectrum to using fingers. Much fuller sound. If you're a bass player and you're speculating about this, my advice, go fingers. I was really glad I did. As I was playing yesterday, hearing the thunder of and it was Rickenbacker. John Entwistle, I believe, used a Rickenbacker on occasion. John Entwistle of the Who, he of the Thunder Fingers. He was a kick-ass bass player, was John Entwistle. As you can see, I kind of like my music. I think you guys have already worked that out. What am I working on? We're working on two things here. Here I am prepping up a BF109. How you doing, by the way, Doc? BF109A for the airbrushing this is for the undercoat being grün, green, but that's the particular Luftwaffe grün. Now these little bits I'll need mounted up on something, and I'll probably want that mounted up on something too. And in fact, what we'll do, and I'm also in a filing frenzy on this little sucker, P-51A. It's trying to get the we're having a hard time getting the wings into here. It's been quite a... First it was that they were too narrow here, but there's a bit of difficulty in there, so we'll hopefully get that sorted today, is the plan. Meanwhile, because what I want to do is once I've got those wings in position, then we can start looking at such niceties as, well, setting that up for airbrushing. I've got stuff that needs airbrushing on the 1971 Mustang that I'm building as well. So at that point, what I would like to do is get them all lined up. And you know what? I have another cunning plan. Yes, I do. On the airbrushing front. In fact, I reckon there's going to be a whole week of it. In fact, more than a week. Probably a whole fortnight of it. Because there's also the stand on for the HMS Warspite that we're going to be building over the course of the next however long. And I wouldn't mind airbrushing that to make it look really good, because you can do that. So why wouldn't I? Yeah. So these are the things. These are the things. Now, let's give this a quick little tidy up. Where's there? There. See, I don't mind doing this sort of level of filing. That's all very normal. What I've had to do on the bloody fuselage and wings of the P-51B has been what we've all been called a pain in the ass. Alrighty, now. And splitch. And splitch. There we go. Nice. Nice. Pop that over to there. Yeah, these are a set of files that I actually inherited from my mother. My mother was a very enthusiastic miniature builder. And unsurprisingly had suit. In fact, it wasn't such a hassle to get to at the moment. What I will do one day, I'm wondering if I've got something that she's built conveniently on hand. I mean, hang on, what I might be able to do, let's see if I move that over and that way, and maybe that way out and up. Okay, and up. There we go. That, you can't quite, well, you're sort of seeing it. See that shop front there? That might, there. There we go. That's something my mum made. To give you an idea as to, yeah, the sort of stuff she used to do. Excuse me while I just move this back. Now, so I'm sure you'd be utterly unsurprised or completely unsurprised that she had all the tools to go with it. These are part of them. There's a few things I've inherited from her in that variety that are absolutely fantastic. One of them, as an example, let's see if I can find it just to show you because it's cool, is, let's see, did I put it here? When I put tidied stuff up or in the next drawer down? Must be the next drawer down, I would think. Yes. Oh, well, here's a whole stack of stuff I'll show you that's just, wow. Some of it I haven't used, but some of it's still cool. Some of it I will use. Okay, scope this shit out, man. Wondering how big something is? Welcome to the wonderful world of the micrometer. If in doubt, it will measure exactly how small things are. It goes down to, well, it depends on how far you want to take it. You can use these measurements here, or you can, yeah. But look at this shit. That's sweet. Well, that's because it's my living room, mate. Yeah. Oh, they're beautiful, mate. Now, other things to consider, and this is one I haven't put to use, but possibly will. Boom! Look at this. It's a little tiny hammer. So if you want to tap something out, like, and what I'm thinking is, say, for example, if I wish to make something circular, I can go and get a mandrel, or even just something that the right diameter. Tap, 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 tap. Boom! Look at that shit. Other bits. Now, this is real cool. A circular compass cutter. So you want to cut a circle, particular diameter, and so boom, shaka, fucking laka. That's all I'm saying, boys and girls. But yeah, and along the way, these. Now I gotta say, yeah, a file for every occasion. As to where she got them specifically, I don't know, nor do I care. What I will want to do fairly soon, I would suggest, is I think I'm going to do a bit of Google foo on how I can go about maintaining these a little better, how I can clean out the grooves and stuff. But yeah, they're a great set, as you say. And yeah. Hey Jeff, how you doing? And it's Rob with a B, buddy. But yeah, my mother was quite remarkable in some ways, it must be said, in as much as she had a, excuse me a moment, spectacular eye for detail. Now, there it is. Just looking for that. And not only, okay, you saw the little shop front she made there. That's a really good example. But she also used to do calligraphy, and also, and this was again something she did more as a hobby, but her standard was professional. Iced wedding cakes. She used to do it as it was the present she would do for people, and the shit, mate. I've seen her do the lace work, all that sort of caper. It's wow. And yeah. Yeah, we'll just actually, you know what? Why am I allowing all this sprue just to sit here? Well, how is this benefiting me? Oh, for God's sake. Actually, why don't I just use this one right now? On we go. Jolly good. So yeah. Now my mum was so fastidious in a lot of her detail, and had certain other personality traits. It is actually generally acknowledged in the family that she was probably, had she been born in the current era, she'd probably been diagnosed as having Asperger's. Yeah, didn't like change. Tick. Spectacular eye for detail. Tick. That's good, Doc. So yeah, now but I do sometimes wonder if that's where I've got my eye for, because I'm told I have a bit of an eye for detail. I wonder if that's where I got it from. Answer, possibly. Possibly. I know here's another one actually. Family. My brother did do some scale models. He wasn't that big on them. But my grandfather, I got this from my mum. Before Airfix even ever came out, he had a lathe at his house, and he used to basically use the lathe to make wooden model aircraft, yeah, the joys of instructions. Sometimes they don't necessarily show what they say they show. You know what I mean? I've been there. Yeah. Anyway, and so he used to get the lathe out, make it as to saw, painted it, and then, and this is where it gets funny, he would put them on display by hanging them from the ceiling of the living room, apparently. And this would drive my grandmother potty. And yeah, now, excuse me a moment, guys, while I have a quick think. What sort of width do I want here? This will do us nicely. And yeah, so it was that my mother grew up in a house that had all manner of aircraft hanging from the ceiling. Now, I don't see why it would have bothered my grandmother so beyond appearances. So much. She was 5'3". It's not like they were going to hit her on the head. Although I got to say, my grandmother, who could be an absolute savage at times, she could be a hard woman. You did not mess with her. But gosh, you have to have a fair slice of patience to be with my grandfather at times. Apparently on one occasion, because he used to be, during the war, he was the fire warden at his work. And being an engineer and all, well, he was a fitter and turner by qualification, but he knew how to disarm bombs and stuff like that. And apparently one day he's strolled in through the front door with this incendiary bomb. There'd been a raid, and he'd found one unexploded, disarmed it, looked at it and thought, you know, that'd be just the ticket for a doorstop. Having taken out the whole mechanism, he's then put it on the buff, polished it up nicely, strolled in through the door, figuring, yep, here we go, nice as pie. How far on can a man go? Yeah, well, my grandmother wasn't so impressed, apparently. And what are you doing with that? Oh, it's all right here. I've disarmed it. Yeah, rightio, Gramps. And I'm not quite sure. So I think ultimately, no, that wasn't going to fly in Milan's eyes. Yeah, funny stuff. As they got older, and as older people do, they got kind of crotchety, grumpy with each other. And there was some of that was hilarious in terms of my mum reckons she came home one day because they used to live in a semi-attached granny flat, and this is when they're like well into their 70s, and all the windows are open, but the heaters are on, and the mum comes, what are you doing? Gets the response, the heaters are on because she's cold, and the windows are open because I'm hot. Yeah, clearly there was real options on compromise. You know, Jesus. There we go. That's that side done. Round we come. Round the outside, round the outside. All right. Yeah, well, that's it. Everyone knows how to casually disarm bombs. Yes. Apparently, here's a great little tale from my grandfather. Said he was the fire warden at his work. And apparently, yeah, it's been a raid. Or raid's in progress, I think, even. He comes across this old dude sitting on top of a bin that's turned upside down. He said, mate, what are you doing? Said, the raid's in progress. Get under a shelter. The guy's there. No. I've got me a bomb. Gramps is there. What? I've got a bomb. It's under his mind. And Gramps is there. Let me have a look. And sure enough, underneath this garbage bin, I'm not sure if it was an incendiary or a fully explosive device, but ultimately, yes, there is a bomb. And unexploded, of course, obviously. Yeah, my grandfather's just giving, get out of here, you silly bugger. It's taking care of business. But yeah, funny stuff, really. Now, once I've gotten this masked, it's back to the filing. Might be trotting out the Viking to do a bit of painting on that in due course. We'll see how we roll. There we go. One more. Now, then comes the question. That's how I'll do it. I was going to say which angle do I? Because the thing about putting them on that way is, of course, they need to. Yeah, you'll see what I mean. Yes. The other interesting thing about my grandfather was he was from 1942 to 1960 something, the lead non-scientific hand at a crucible place Now, that of its own in the experimental division. The reason I find that interesting, well, I'm sure there's a lot of reasons why that could be viewed as interesting, but is because apparently when my family emigrated to Australia, people would come and visit him from around the world to discuss ceramic nose cones for missiles. And the question I pose is, what, therefore, was he working on during the Second World War? Given that his qualification was fitter and turner, what was he working on that would make him a person that people would turn to for such matters? One wonders, one wonders. Certainly I do. There we go. Look at that. That's ready to go at least. Now, now, next. Yes. Filing. Grr. Grr. Gonna need a mouthful of coffee to get back to this, I am. All right. Needle files. Sorry, I was just reading the. I guess if you wanted to track down, I said that might help you. It's called. I guess it looks like there's something else that should have been printed there that's worn off. But there's a set of needle files. It might be if you wish to track something down of this ilk. Now, all right. Now, let's just have another quick look. All right, so there and there and probably wouldn't hurt to get a bunno. Right. Sorry, guys, I'm just a bit. Obviously, you can see I'm making a slightly different approach to this. Wouldn't hurt either. Now, where we're going to hit now is actually very much along there for a bit. Yeah, I reckon into there's where if I'm coming in there, you can see that's got to give enough space to go click. into there, perhaps. No, that should be fine. Yeah, a bit more into that. Right. Starting to get very clear ideas as to where it's all going. Got to go. So it's right into that low bit there. I know that a mate of mine would probably have walked from this skip having to do this much filing, but I don't think that's really what I want to do. Particularly haven't taken it this far. Especially as a lot of the kit's really nice. Ooh. Ooh, look guys, we're getting very close now. Don't force it, Rob. Take it cool. Stay cool. Oh. I tell you guys. Yeah, prodding out the Vikings looking like a sound idea soon. Just because I'll see if there's anything else I can do on the Mustang beyond filing. Grr. Well, this is sliding forward quite happily. It is that you can see it's getting there. It's now just a patience game, as it has always been. Let's see what else we can do here, guys. Let's have a look. Well, I suppose I could always put these together. See, here's the frustration. Once you get that on, it's just bam, bam, and we can assemble the tanks, I guess. Or they already assembled? No, they're not assembled. We might as well do them. Okay. Which ones do we need? 4. With these ones we need. All right. So we may as well just put them together. Get that done. Being these ones, I think. Yeah. Z3 and on A43, A44, 43 and 44. So we'll put them on. I'll put them together. We will see. The reason I'm holding off putting them together just because they're small, but I'll do. Well, I've got to do it. You do it one step at a time, wouldn't you? Really. We'll put the wheels on the stems. Be damned as well. Then we'll get back to some fire. Now, first up, we're going to need these. While we're here, we're going to need these, and we're going to need, where are they? Looking. Are they on here? No. Oh, here they are. Our wheels. Boom. All right. Now, so, should I rubber band these? Maybe. We'll see. We'll go that way around. Maybe a bit more. There we go. That's nicer. There we go. Now, there we go. Now, hang on a moment. Yeah, I'll do that. Now, they're the same half. I remember the first time I ever built a Lancaster. I got two halves that I thought, oh, yeah, they're the same. They looked similar. Well, they looked the same. They were similar. And it can be real easy to make that mistake. And I almost thought, oh, yeah, they're the same. Bloop. No. Not so fast, boy wonder. And there we go. There's the clean bits. And all right. All right. Now, next. Fun fact for everyone. At least once a stream, I'll get a message from somebody on Twitch encouraging me to buy viewers. Why? Where do I buy viewers? I want viewers who are genuinely interested. Now, here's something to consider. Give me a moment. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's a bit here, and I was wondering if they are meant to go into like little holes or anything there. Oh, yeah, they are. Maybe. Let's have a look. Easy way to find out, isn't there? Come here. Oh, these are fiddly. Come here. Stop that. No. All right, that's easy then. With that identified. Come here. All right. Let's see how we go this time. I want it nice and snug. Don't reckon that's going to be. No. All right. Yo. So where is the? There is a. Some of these are meant to align. There's some little nodules here that are meant to align, and there are some that do and some that do not. And it's giving me a strong urge just to get rid of the whole bloody lot of them. Because they're not. There we go. I think that might be our issue resolved. All right. Let's. I think I just need to be extremely aggressive with these little bits and bobs here. There we go. Now let's see how it goes. Fuck, these things are slippery. But that's a much nicer fit. Correct. It's all as it should be. Boom. All right. I think I shall rubber band them. They're a bit fiddly, they are. Now, let's tidy up the front of the other ones, then we'll glue them together. Now, and there we go. Now, this side. Now, filing here. There we go. Now, make sure that it all goes together nicely. And marvellous stuff, that. Now, next, we'll pop these a bit further over there. They can go to there. This can go into here. Oh, wait, where are the other ones? Ooh, where are the other ones? Here they are. Get them out of the way for the moment. Ooh, my back's starting to get a bit sore. Not quite sure what goes on with that. There's no reason for it to be sore. Let's see how cooperative the glue is or isn't today. Hang on a moment. Looks like it might be the other one I'm going to be using. Yep. I can feel the glue. There we go. Now, what I might do is, just in case it's a little, no, they're big ones, or bigger ones than I want to use. Give me a moment. So at least the glue is running on that. This is good. Now, where is it not? I want a very small rubber band. Here's probably a suitable size. I think I've got another one somewhere that's a similar sort of dimension, like so. All right, let's do this. One. Now, no, I don't think I need the rubber band. That's good. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Now, yeah, that's binding nice. Loose leather do its thing. This one. Now, after this, a bit more filing. Then we'll do the wheels. Yeah. There we go. That's them done. All right. So, quick little zoom in, I guess. These are just drop fuel tanks, I think, at the end of the day. So, now, pop these over there for a moment. All right, and the saga continues. Now, it is possible that this will not be completed today. I'll go that one. All we can do is keep going. Really? Actually, there might be a big help. Get that into there. Yeah. Create a gap there for it to go click into. Let me come a bit more into there. Rubbing. I've got to say, at least the interior is held together well through all this. Oh, so close now. Very close now. Wonder how much. Oh, geez, that. I wonder how much further I've got to go. Sometimes it doesn't look like far, and other times it looks like ridiculous distance. Annoying. I reckon if I hadn't done so much work on the interior, I would probably actually would just go be damned. But the interior was a lot of work on its own, and I liked that work. That was good. It was cool. This is a boning. Anyway, now That's just really starting to ship me to tears, guys. I'm sure you understand that. Now, this would be a time for some smaller sprue cutters. What I think I might even end up doing is the filing is now going to become sort of something I'm going to bring in as I do other stuff on other kits. I'm actually really pissy with that. I do want to get it done, and I will get it done, but I'm not going to focus on the P-51B until that's completed. And in the meanwhile, what I'll do is I'll do some airbrushing, clean, file, airbrushing, clean, file, and that'll be one of the last things I'll airbrush, I expect. I'm very annoyed about having to go do this much filing. I'm sure some of you would be unsurprised. I don't mind doing filing, I don't, but this is ridiculous. And this is substantial enough that I'm convinced it is not just my error. I was prepared to accept that possibility. No, this is something else again. Come on, there we go. Now, come off there, damn you. You see, when it comes to filing, in truth, that is about as much as you should ever have to do, in my opinion. Now, there we go. And bing. Oops, almost. Boom. I'm going to move it around that way. There's one of our wheels. On the stem. Boom. Next. I might just give me a moment. Yep, that's nice and square. That's fine. Next one. All right. I'm going to get this wheel on. I'll do a little bit more filing because you never know. And then I'll wind the stream up. Now tomorrow. Well, there's a few things we can consider. It can be a very big day of prepping in terms of if I'm going to airbrush, do a whole stack of airbrushing streams, and I pretty much am. I might as well as get all the bits that are going to be airbrushed ready, as I've done with the 109. Now, my first port of call on the Mustang car is chassis black, so we'll get all that ready. And then we will, there's also the Warspite base I want to airbrush. So we'll do that. We'll set that up. We will also then spend some time filing. But mostly we'll just be prepping, I reckon. All right, bit of a file. There we go. Now, come on. There we go. I think. Did I get to the right spot? Yes, of course you did. And now, splash. Gotcha. Hang on, where are we? Oh, there we are. Whoop. Come on, focus, damn you. Oh, you bitch of a thing. Did it for the other one. Come on. Maybe if I do that, bring it right in front. Nah, you're just going to be a bitch to me, aren't you? All right, we'll do it this way then. Our other wheel. All right. Done. Zoom out. All right, let's have that patience tested one more time. Ayo. I'd actually really like to discuss this with other people who have built this kit as to whether they had this experience. You can see it's not quite going to go into there the way it's supposed to sit. All right, I'm leaving that for the time being. As I said, it's annoying me very much. Coffee The fluid that keeps the world going round, I tell you. All right. Now, that's me done for today. Now, tomorrow we're going to do a whole stack of prepping across probably the Mustang car, that is, for the chassis black, for the Warspite base, and hopefully we'll get these wings on. It shouldn't be this fucking hard. It's quite a simple equation. You know what I mean, people? I think you do. At least we got our 109 ready to rock and roll. Once we got everything prepped, what I am thinking is we will progress directly onto the airbrushing, and do filing after I've done cleaning of the brush every day. And ultimately, we will sooner or later get those bloody wings in. I can't even begin. Consider the following, people. Most people consider me quite literate, and indeed, I've completed a book. I'm well onto my second, and there is no adjective I have in my vocabulary that adequately conveys the level of frustration I'm having with the amount of fucking filing I'm having to do on that P-51B. And breathe. Glad I got that out of my system. All right, I'll catch you tomorrow, Doc. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Any first-time viewers out there, you know what to do. Magic button, follow, like, or subscribe. Glad you enjoyed it, Bassman. If you'd like to track me down other platforms, I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube, and Rob's to the Builder on Instagram and Twitch. What are those words? Follow, like, or subscribe. My pleasure, David. Now, tomorrow, as I said, I'll be back. We're going to do a whole stack of prepping. Yes, we are. And when all of it's done, at the end of the day, cheers, Doc. At the end of the day, all that I can really say is that I'll be back tomorrow at a similar kit time and on the same kit channel. And hopefully I'll catch you good people then. See yous.